Hello, this is Lee with 82 Gaming 12, back with La Bataille de Kulm against the odds game. Designed by Limbit Tover. See here. And so I wanted to talk about a few things before we get going here, because I made quite a few errors. In that first video. One had to do with the stream. I was looking at the wrong row for the stream. There's no rivers. It's all streams. And so the cost on streams right here: infantry +3, cavalry +5, artillery +4. So for some reason it cost more for the cavalry than for the artillery. So that's one thing. Okay, another thing is when cavalry is performing a charge and they change formation, that formation cost is doubled. So if we were to go up here where those three cavalry regiments for the French basically destroyed 2 Jaeger units and then routed another, and also reduced it down to a strength of 1, that shouldn't have occurred, because they would not have had enough movement points to make that happen. And to kind of, I guess, offset that, I allowed the Russians down here in the south to cross this stream at only a cost of 3 to make it even. So now I've got to be sure that I remember to use the proper cost. And then with defensive fire is only allowed against adjacent targets, unlike offensive fire. So even the defensive artillery, they're only allowed to fire at range if they're firing in offensive fire. And I was not doing that, but we really didn't have any fire that took place. Something else that I have to remember is that, let's turn that guy back over. So we've got exhausted and fatigued. Okay, I'm kind of used to tired and exhausted, I think, is what, I guess that's the Clash of Arms games. They use tired and either exhausted. So you've got fatigued and then exhausted. And so if they perform a melee and a charge, then I believe you have exhausted and then fatigued is the proper order. Okay, let's see. No, fatigued would be tired in ME, Marshall Enterprises. Okay, so that's where I got that. And exhausted is the next step up. So fatigued and then exhausted. So some of these, like, okay, um, this one would be exhausted because they charged and then meleeed. And this unit here charged and meleeed, so they would also be exhausted. And then this unit here, um, uh, they didn't have to go through the melee, so they would just be fatigued. Now, what I wanted to point out was the fact that if heavy cavalry is either attacking or defending against light cavalry, their melee value is doubled. The other thing is, day one was the ground was wet. And so the +5 that cavalry gets when they're charging is not applied. Now, when I look through the rules, I don't come across that until I was rereading. Let me find. Oh, it's over here in the Kulm special rules. So right here, cavalry do not get the +5 movement points when charging. This is day one due to the wet ground. And also, if all of the attacking units are assaulting upslope or across a stream, an additional -2 die roll modifier applies. So that, it's like, well, where did the +5 come from? I know it comes from this. What happened was it was left out of the rules because I've read through this several times. When you go to the cavalry, there's no mention about a +5 for cavalry. Let's see. Let me make sure. I know I didn't just read this, skip right over it. So there's cavalry restrictions. Now it does. Here's something that I mentioned was each time a charging cavalry unit moves forward a hex, it must move into the frontal hex directly ahead. Once a unit in a single hex has entered that hex, the owning player may turn the units facing a maximum of 60 degrees. This turn costs no movement points. Well, if we go over here to the addendum, this is here. So addition, okay. cavalry and limbered horse artillery 2 additional movement points to change facing. So that would cost them 2 to change facing there. So that's something else that I came across. But this +5, I remember seeing that +5 and other rule sets are probably the premier Marshall Enterprises rule set. But I don't see it in the rules. So it's like, I think they forgot to put it in there. And if you're not paying close attention, when you come across the special rules, you wouldn't see that. But the +5 will be available in day 2. So that's 2 rules that I need to pay closer attention to. And also, like I said, defensive fire. Adjacent to one of its frontal hexes may fire at that enemy unit. It differs from offensive fire only in that it must be made against adjacent targets. So even skirmishers can't fire at a range of 2. And of course, opportunity fire is the same thing. It's got to be frontal hex, and it's going to be against an adjacent target. And it's only if the target is leaving their zone of influence or changing formation or facing. So there we go. And I'm sure there'll be other things that, because I'm just getting back to this, and this is the only, trying to think of the rule sets I have. I don't have this rule set. I don't think I have this rule set. It's an updated rule set, and it's set in a different format. It even tells you that at the beginning. And I like the way it's all laid out. But let's see here. Where's it talk about? Oh yeah, the rules are presented. Well, we'll just come on down here and take a look. So right here, the rules are presented in a more legal method so that newcomers to the game system can reference them faster. These rules have been tailored and reorganized to facilitate the learning of the premier ME rules as they pertain to this battle. So, and so it's not related to the Clash of Arms 5th edition, Maria Louise, or the Regulations 30. I have the Regulations 30, and I have the Maria Louise rules, but I don't have the charts and everything that go with it. Same thing with this 5th edition. I've got it, but I don't have all of the charts that are needed. So okay. So we've taken care of that. Trying to add a little bit more light. So we're at the .1140 turn, and I've got to get my other phone because I use it for recording, keeping track of time. For restricting how much I have to move the units. Let's see here. Let's see if that light over there is going to be an issue. Yeah, I don't like it. I think it has to be. I'm going to have it. It's going to have to be. Maybe like that. Okay, so we don't have any reinforcements. We don't have reinforcements until 1 o'clock. Trying to find my clock. Oh, there it is. All right. And then if you notice something else that, hey, that doesn't seem to be right that I'm doing, well, just, point it out so that everyone can see it and begin to do things the proper way. So we don't have command phase. So let's see, cavalry. Okay, so right down here, we have an opportunity here to, let's use these, to have this unit here that's in road column charge one of these. Now, they could change to line and then charge this unit, which can't do anything because they're exhausted, and so they can't countercharge. So let's flip them back over. And since this is the charge phase, they change their formation, which moves to, they want to go to line. It's going to cost 6 to go from road column to line. So that's what they do. So 6. And since they're in line, their movement is reduced by 2. So now we're looking at, they've used 8. But all they need is 1 to get right there. And so we mark it with a charge marker. and then this thing right there. All right. And we don't have any other charge to do for the French. The French are outnumbered when it regards to cavalry units. And really, the Russians should have sent their heavy cavalry over here to engage this light cavalry that came along here. And they can still do that instead of sending their light cavalry, their lancers, and so forth. Now, could the light cavalry retreat before combat? Yeah, sure. Because most of them have a movement of 15 or 14, and these have a movement of 12. If they have a movement of 2 more than what's attacking, then they can retreat before combat. So they'd be able to run away. But then they wouldn't be able to move the next turn, which means the heavy cavalry could push them around and run them all over the map and keep them preoccupied. And if they do that, then they could possibly have the light cavalry come in and attack the French from the rear. So that possibly was something that could have, a tactic that could have been used if, like what happened here with me rushing forward and not being patient. The French were just outnumbered. So, and these cavalry units that are routed plus grand disorder, when they recover, if they recover, they're going to be exhausted. Pretty sure that's what happens. They get an exhaustion marker. It's not a fatigue, but it's an exhaustion, which means it's going to take them a few turns to even be able to do anything. Let's see. I think it was 4. Let's go back this way. Yeah. Cavalry units to recover have an exhausted stated marker placed on them. So that's 4.54A. So they're going to be out of action for quite some time. So let's get started. The French have 5 minutes to get their movements done before we move to defensive fire. All right, so what we have to do is we need to deploy these units. That unit's in 2 hexes. All right, so going to come out of let's see. Now, I don't know. I probably couldn't have been able to change these guys into line because I don't think you can change more than one formation in a turn. I have to look that up, but I don't think you can. So these would all be still under column, and then I would be putting them into line. So this unit here goes into column, comes out of march, and moves over here. So that's cost 1, 2, 3, 4, and then prepares to go into line, and they will go into a 2 line. Now I better put them there. And same thing here with this one. Changes to line, to column. Okay. They can go into line. They could go into line, but they lose 2 movement. So they would only have 4. Let's see. So they go from column to line. March to line. So I turn them like that. Okay, so that's cost 1. And now they only have their movement is reduced by 2. So now that 1 plus 2 is 3. So 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. Okay, so they can do that. Same thing here. They go to line. I don't think they can reach where they need to reach, though. That's all right. So, no. So they're there. I'm going to move them 1, then change them to line 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. And let's see here. This unit, we've got this slope here. That's going to cost +2 to go up that slope. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6. Right there, they go to line in those 2 hexes. And then this unit here, 1, 2. Well, I'll tell you what, it only wants to go 1, change to line 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it'll go there 7. This leader here is going to move more. So move to here. So I've got this unit's going to slide over. This unit's going to turn. This unit's going to turn. This unit here. They're going to consolidate to right there. All right, we don't have much time left, and so now we're going to punch over here. And we're going to try to move that no, they can't move. And this unit can. So it costs them to go down that slope 4, 5, 6. And across here is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. I got to stop. Now, what I should have done is I should have moved these three back. Okay. And yeah, they would be fatigued because they charged, but they actually didn't do melee. The Jaggers had to retreat, so. But I probably should have moved them. And these guys kind of really need to be moving this way because there's a gap in here, and the Russians need to look to move to exploit that gap. If we pull back, we can see the gap that I've allowed to be created here. And they need to pull down here and start filling this area here up. Maybe extend these guys a little bit, but they don't have any reserves. I've got everybody kind of, I got a horseshoe here. So we have no defensive fire. As of yet. Offensive fire, we don't have that either. It's like, where's these guys' artillery at? Must be over there. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So then we would go to melee. We don't, oh yeah, we do have melee. We got melee right here. Okay, they're getting attacked in their flank. Now, I don't think normally cavalry doesn't have to roll for pre-melee. But they're being attacked in their flank. So it says pre-melee, not cavalry. Okay, so we don't have that pre-melee for the cavalry unit. So let's take a look here. All right, so we've got so let's see. Assaulting defender through its flank hex side is double. So they have 8, but they also get the lance bonus. So that's 2 and it's doubled to 4. So they've got 12. So they are double to 24. So they have a strength of 24. And the cavalry is exhausted, so they only have a third. Okay, so they have a strength of 4. So 24 to 4, it's going to be 5 to 1. Oh, where's my other dice? Okay, that's a 61. At 5 to 1, a 61 is a DR. So almost a defender surrender. So they'd be disordered anyways, because cavalry can't be disordered. They just go to, they go to rout. So we can remove that. Put a route marker. Plus, they take a loss. They're exiting a zone of influence, which is this cavalry unit. So they now will move. Oops. Where's the route? There it is. So they're going to move 14 hexes away. Or not 14 hexes, but they're going to use their movement. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's 5 to cross that stream. That's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So that's where they end up. Okay. And so this unit will move into here. Flip it over. And we would put a blue, got to be sure we use the right color. So we're putting a blue exhausted. They're going to be exhausted. So that takes care of that melee. And so we go to the recovery phase, which means one thing is all these cavalry units, okay, these units here are no longer fatigued. All right, and then let's see here, we got to brought back. These units I don't think are far enough away from an enemy unit. Here's this unit here is enemy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they've got to continue to move. So they've got this leader with them. I don't necessarily have to continue moving the leader, but so 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 10. I guess they would just keep going back to this village back here. They can't stop in there. They could go across here into the woods. You know. Well, that's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So, yeah, I guess I'll move this leader back here. This guy here, 15. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, and then this one here. What is this? Oh, that's at, so they can go 12. I guess they could actually perform they would be able to perform a opportunity charge. I don't think you can do that during recovery. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I can chase after him, I guess. So that takes care of the French turn. So now we go to the coalition. They don't get anyone until 11, let's see, 1 o'clock as well. No reinforcements until 1 o'clock. So we can skip that. We have some cavalry charges. Let's see what we have. So we've got this exhausted unit here. I'm going to have this unit that's in line. Okay. So they use 2, lose 2 due to the fact they're in line. So basically start with 12, but we say 2 and then 3, 4 to change facing 4, 5, and then 5 plus 5 is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm moving this one here by accident. And maybe, I don't remember seeing anything about, well, you have to have enough movement to go under the hex. So let's see here. Let's check the charge. When you play so many different Napoleonic games, the rules just tend to rattle around in your head. So it just says it has to end the charge adjacent to an enemy unit. It doesn't say that it has to have enough movement to move into the hex. Okay. So we have a charge here. This is what happens when you don't keep some cavalry units, some regiments, in waiting to protect those that have went out to charge. They get countercharged. So well, let's see here. I don't have enough movement to get over some of these units because of that stream. And let's see here, if we charge across that stream, see if there's any, I don't see any modifiers. So it's just a reduction in strength and so forth. Let's see here if it says anything. Yeah, attacking across the river. Well, that would be attacking across the stream. It's half strength. So we could actually charge several units here could actually charge. So this here with this leader, and he's a special leader. Well, he's got cavalry bonus. He's not special. So we could, of course, all of these are in line. So we just go straight up this road, and this unit here can decide whether or not they want to go to square. So where is that at? Oh, yeah, there it is. So Russian automatically, 4 hexes away, they're automatically going to be able to go to square. So, no, this is French. So, they don't have automatic. Because they're in line, neither would the Russians. Yeah, they did. They would. So 11 to 53 is what they would have to roll to be able to go to square. And we're talking about this unit here. And this is the unit that's going to charge. So we could hit it here. But this unit here, okay, 1, 2, 3, okay, that's 5, that's 8, 9, 10, 11. So this one can get there, and he'd be attacking his flank. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, and then 5, 6. So now we're at 9, 10, 11. Now, would they be able to attempt to go to square? They would be able to turn and see. Oh, let's see. Yeah, but it doesn't say coming into flank. It just says so I guess they could probably, let's see what it says here, but I think it just has to do with line of sight. So yeah, okay, so square realization 10 to 8. Okay, so 10 to 8. Let's see what it says. 10 to 8. All right. In line of sight of a hex within friendly infantry in it. Just says in it. The only player may attempt to have those units attempt to form square. This may only be formed once. So it all comes down to line of sight. Well, what does the rule say about line of sight? Let's go back over here. All right, so line of sight. Okay, so it says a unit's line of sight might only pass through the unit's frontal hex sides. This means units may not trace a line of sight through their rear or flank hex sides. So that answers that. So now we know that we go back over here. Right here, this unit cannot go to square. All right. So I want to hold that one there for just right now. So he's going to move, but I can't move the leader yet. He's just right there. He didn't go with that charge. This unit, I'm not going to charge with him. I want to charge with this one. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3. Okay, so he's right there. This unit can go to square, and they decide to do that. So the leader's going to give him -3. Oh, a 55. But a 55 -3. And let's see, there you are. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and we look here, French. They're in line. Okay. -3, 55 will now go down, so it's 52, so they passed. Okay, so they get to go to square. And now that unit that's charging, so here we got, they went to square. So after they will get, because they're going to be charging in a straight line, they're going to get to double their melee, but they're going to be attacking a square. So a player may attempt to halt his charging unit's charge once during its charge movement by rolling for recall. So, what's the recall? All right, so here's the recall for Russians. It's 5-6, and with the leader, it becomes 4, 5, or 6, and I got a 4. So they can recall, and I guess they could end their movement. So they just want to stop. So I don't think they have to. Don't think they have to receive any kind of effect to their readiness. They only moved like 2 axes. So now, all right, so they just stopped right there. And so now I'm going to have this unit. It's going to charge here. So he goes 1, 2, and right there they can roll. Okay, a 52. Again, that is just barely passing. So that unit goes to square. And so they look to try to recall, and they can't. So they will attack the square. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And so they will now have to endure opportunity fire. All right, so that's the 3rd Battalion of the 96th Line. And let's see here. Okay, so they're in square. So that's going to be ×2, but it's a 3rd. So that means 3rd. 2 times 2 is 4. Or maybe it's, let's see, how many, what's their, okay, so there's 8. Okay, that would be 4. That would be, let's see, no, but it's a third. It'd be only two, a little bit more than two. So, but you're going to round down. Okay, so 8. And it's thirded. That's where a good calculator comes in. All right, so you have 8 divided by 3, 2.6 times 2. So that's a 5, strength of 5. So the strength of 5, and that cavalry unit, is in column so is 6. So the fire would be 1 to 1.5. Okay. 53. That's going to be a hit. Okay. So they take a hit, but then they also have to check their morale. So okay, so we check the morale of this unit. It's a 23. Okay. Ooh, a 15. So they rout. Let's turn it around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plus 5 is 10, 11, 12. They go to right there. And we put the route on them. And so that unit, flip them back over. All right, we've got another unit here. And they're going to charge out here against this unit. So they can see them. So we go 1, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4 away. 35, they passed. So they go to square. And now we have to see about recall for this unit. I rolled a 2, so no. All right, so 2, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, and then they're going to get fired on by this unit. There's 8. So again, that's going to be, it's going to be 5. Strength of 5. And the defense is 6. Unit in column. So it's 1 to 1.5. All right, so we got a 51. That again is a hit. No, it's not a hit. What did I roll last time? I don't think that was supposed to be, I don't think that was a hit. I was looking at 1 to 1. I didn't roll no 55 or 56. So yeah, that shouldn't have been, yeah, let's go back here. That shouldn't have been I looked at the wrong thing there. So this unit here is actually goes right there. This unit 2, 51 is not a hit. At 1 to 1.5, you have to get a 55. All right, so we have both of those on there. Let's go ahead and put those charge markers on here. And let's see here. Okay, so now it's time for us to start the clock for the Russian player. And let's see here. Let's move around here. So we can get this other view here, this other angle. So okay. I think that gets all the units in. So we've got 8 minutes to make the moves. Go. All right, so I want to move this leader. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What's it? Doesn't say. I guess same thing as cavalry. 6. 1, 2, 3. That'd be 8, 9, 10. So he's going to go there. This unit, let's see, 1, 2, and then that's 5, that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He goes to there. All right, and so we've got this artillery. I'm going to try to move. I have to have a 5 or a 6. Okay, that one there. There we go. This one I was able to unlimber, so that cost 2. Now 4 for them to cross the stream. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So they're going to be able to fire on those squares, or at least this square here. Okay, that the cavalry, I guess, is meleeing. No, this is actually attacking this unit here. All right. All right. So now they want to move up to engage these guys. So 7, 1, 2, 3. I guess it doesn't matter if they're skirmishers or what. Stream is 3. That's 6, 7. So I could go to there. All right, and let's bring up this infantry. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then they are attacking that. 4. 5, move into line. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 5, 6, move into line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, move into line. What's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now he couldn't move across there. Leader's gonna let this guy turn. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go to line. This guy, he'll just go with the units. They're going to turn. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then he'll turn to line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Don't think they want to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. What's it cost to go into the village? Two. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It goes into line like that. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, he's only got 5. Okay, so these guys are going to move over here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And 13, let's see, 12, 13. Now they're staying in column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. And we're trying to move some of these artillery pieces. 3, 4, that's not enough. Next one. 2, no, over there. 2, next one. 2, so none of those can move. All right, so that takes care of the movement. They had about 45 seconds to spare. And so we go to defensive fire. And of course, we have defensive fire. We've got defensive fire here. Where we got these cavalry units at. So all right. We'll start here first. So we've got this cavalry unit. We've got the French unit in square. Let's flip them over. All right, so they are, okay, so they're in square. So French unit in square is going to be in their line times 2. So let's see here. Special combat trying to figure out what the procedure is when they go to square. Okay, let's see. It must be up here with the formation. Okay, here it is. Okay, so when the enemy unit, cavalry unit, is in the same hex as the square has the fire factor of the total number of increments in the hex times the fire multiplier. So 8 times 2 is 16. Okay, so we've got 16. All right, so it's going to be almost, it's almost 2 to 1, 3. Let's see. Well, it's going to be 2.5 to 1. It's 2.6. So there's 8. All right. All right, so let's roll. 64. Oh, wow. 64. Oh, well, that's only one hit. But it's going to cause a morale check for that cuirassier. They have a 26. Rolled a 53, so they passed. No, 35, but that's still a pass. All right, and so that's defensive fire. Oops. Still put that square there. Okay, then we go to this one. And again, we have a strength of 8. So they are 2.5 to 1 also. 66. That would be a leader casualty, but we don't have a leader. So that's one, that's a loss. And they've got to roll for morale check. And let's see, their morale, 23. 52, so they passed. All right, so they passed. Okay, let's move on down the line. Not here, but here we have this unit though is getting attacked in the flank, so they can't fire. We don't have to worry about that fire. Okay, so that's the defensive fire. Now we go with the offensive fire. And we have, let's put that charge back up there. Offensive fire, so we have this skirmisher firing here at this unit in the line, and that is a Jaeger. There's 3 of them, So a Jaeger, Russian Jaeger, in skirmish mode. Okay. Russian is ×4. All right, so that's 12. But it's half because they're firing at a range of 2. So it's going to be 6. And the target is in line with a terrain fire defense of 9. So it's going to be 1 to 1.5. And they rolled a 53, and that's not enough. Okay, so that wasn't effective. And then this unit can't fire into here because the cavalry's in there too. But we have this artillery unit gets to fire here at this unit, which is in square. So 1, 2, 3 is the range. Okay. In square, it's going to be a defense of 4. Okay. And they are, what I say, 3 hexes away. So their strength is 5. So that's 1 to 1. Rolled a 15. It's not going to do anything. 1 to 1, no effect. Worth a shot though. And let's see here. No, we don't have anything else. No other. Okay, so no other offensive fire. So then we move to melee. And let's just go right here to this one here. This unit. Let's get rid of that. So let's flip this unit over. They've got 1 loss. So 4. So they're going to have a 28, strength of 28, but that's going to be modified. So we've got this unit here has 24, but they get double because they charged from 3 straight hexes, but they were going across a river or stream in this regard, so that just puts them back to normal. But they are attacking a square, so that's a third. So I said it was 28. So 9 to against 24. So that's going to be, let's see, it's going to be 1 to 2. Uh, 26. Attacker is going to be disordered, which means they're going to be routed. So let's back up so we can show where they're going to route back to. So 5, going back across the string, 5, 6, so they were here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, they were already across the river, though. So that they weren't actually assaulting. They already crossed the river. So, all right, I rolled a 26. But, so, 28, that's going to be like 1 to 1. But still, okay, that would be, that's going to be a bounce. So, with a bounce, they have to move back so many hexes. I think it's 3 hexes. And then they check their morale. Okay. So, so they're going to lose a step. So 1, 2, 3. So they would go back to there. And the 51 that passed. So they're going to be exhausted though. And these guys are still in square. So now we move to the next one. Here. All right. All right, so they're going to be in the same boat. They're going to have a strength of 28. This square, they're exactly the same. So we're going to have, it's going to be 1 to 1. 45, 1 to 1. Okay, so they both take a loss. And looks like with a asterisk, with the attacker, they're going to have to check morale. And let's see here. We got to go over here to the results. The fire combat. Special melee outcomes. Cavalry that melees and then rolls a no effect is said to have achieved a bounce. They retreat 3 hexes and check their morale. Okay, we did that. And there's no zone of influence loss. So they don't take a loss. Now, okay, so we've got here we've got the cavalry. So what we have a loss on each side. But the cavalry can't stay in there. So they got 2 losses now. So what happens to them? They exit the other side, or they bounce. Oh, I got to check their morale. Okay, so their morale is 23. 42, so they passed. But what happens when cavalry can't dislodge I guess they would rout. So that's what we'll do. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oops. So that's where they go. All right. Then we have this here. Oh, he was with that unit. And here I should have rolled to stand. They had to roll to stand, and I didn't roll. I didn't do that. So let's flip them over. They've got a 21. We look at okay, so cavalry charge. Okay, so defender is being charged on the flank. That's a minus 12. They have a 21. Let's see what happens. Okay, so roll to 64. They're not going to disorder. All right, so let's go ahead and do the melees. Okay, so they did not move in a straight line, so they don't get the bonus, but they're charging the flank, but then they're also charging across the stream. So that just goes back, it's going to be their normal melee strength. And so we've got because it would be doubled for attacking the flank, and then it becomes halved because of the stream. So 24 to 20, that's just going to be it's going to be 1 to 1. $42. Okay, that's going to be 2 losses for the attacker. All right. And they would have to check morale. 56, and they pass. I guess they can turn. So they take 2. And they are going to be exhausted. Okay. So, okay, we have this one over here now. Here, this Lancer. This unit is exhausted, and they're being attacked under their flank. All right, so they're only in 1 hex. But they're charging their flank, and let's see, 1, 2, no, they didn't have enough space for charging 3 in a row. So we have, they're going to be doubled, but they get the lance bonus. So they're at 20, so they're going to be 40. to this unit, which is exhausted. They have a lance bonus, but they're not using it in their front axes. I don't know if you can actually use it getting flanked. I guess you can. See if I can find that real quick about the Lancers. Charge bonus, where's the Lance bonus at? I'll go ahead and give it to him. I don't want to mess with trying to find it. So that'd be 2 doubled. So that'd be, they're at 12, but they're exhausted. So that means a third. So that's, their strength is 4. So yeah, it's gonna be the worst it can be, 5 to 1. And they rolled a 63, which is the defender surrenders. Okay, this is 5 to 1. Rolled a 63 is defender surrenders. So that those Lancers are captured. The 5th Lancers. And so they move into this hex and they can turn. Let's say they were like that, move in. I think they can turn. Maybe not. So they're exhausted. They charged and meleeed. All right, so now we go to the recovery, and so first off, we have this unit here is no longer fatigued. They recovered. This unit here, exhausted, goes to fatigued. And then we look down here to this unit, who's not far enough away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13. So they've got to get 15 away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now they're plenty of room away. Okay, so that's where they ended up. And then we have this Jaeger unit who will be moving 7. No, they move 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they can't go across that yet. All right. So if I get rid of this light here, there we go. Oh, I thought I got rid of it. Okay. So this is what we got. After the 11:40 turn, so we'll be moving into the noon turn. that'll have to wait till the next video. But the French were able to hold by going into squares. And this wasn't allowed here because the cavalry was already engaged in this square. They were already in the hex. So this unit was not allowed to even fire into the hex or assault. So both sides are having a difficult time limbering their artillery. So you want to keep your artillery limbered until you're sure where you want to put them. And then just expect that that's where they're going to stay. Which I guess for the French, the units that were up here were already placed there. But the Russians could have just had theirs limbered. I don't think they had to. I don't think they had to be. I don't think they had to be unlimbered. That's just where they had to be placed, is where those symbols are. But they could have been left limbered, and they wouldn't have so much trouble moving them up. So presently, the Russians have moved up and created a wall here. And you know, it's going to be another hour before the French get any help. So, which the French are going to have a pretty good size division coming in. Van Dam and let's see, which division? I guess it's 1st Division. So not as big as, well, about the same size, I guess. Yeah. So 1st Division is going to be entering. It's going to take a little bit of time for them to reach the front, but they're going to be there for reserve. So as long as the French don't allow themselves to be outflanked, the Russians are going to be looking to get in, exploit this. So the French are going to have to move down here to create this continuous line here. They can't afford to allow the Russians to split their forces, because they'll be able to come in here and probably annihilate this advanced guard, or turn and roll up this division, the 42nd. Isn't that the 42nd? Yeah, the 42nd Advanced Guard. So they that's the 5th Division. It's over there. The 5th Division is up here. So the 5th Division needs to move down here to help consolidate with the 42nd. French wasted their light cavalry in moving in here. They should have, the French should have consolidated. They should have moved up and set up here on the high ground and kept this flank here protected with the 5th Division and set up the 42nd here on this high ground and used their cavalry just to cover the flank, not to attack, but to cover the flank until these other 2 divisions can get in where they can actually do something. But Van Dam cannot afford to wait for the 2nd Division to arrive because the next day he's going to be facing 3 coalition armies: Austria, Prussia, and Russia. I don't have the order of battle. I don't have let me turn here. I don't have the Prussian, Prussian, Austrian order of battle up on this wall here. I have the French over here, and then the Russian here. You still come across some situations that you're like, well, what do I do here? And sometimes you can't find what you need in the book, the rule book, or you can't find it fast enough and you can delay your play or just, make a decision and move on. And then, find it later. And it's not that big a deal. So, but as I've said, I kind of prefer the MUs, but I like the ME rule set. I would just like to see, randomness with, you have to make decisions. And there's a limit there because you only have so much time to move your forces. And so there's times I haven't been able to move everybody. And so I have to make a decision, okay, where am I going to start so that I'm be sure that I move the units that I want to be sure that they engage or accomplish something. But this is a very easy rule set to understand and to play if you're interested in La Bataille. And I've got a lot of the Clash of Arms, older games, and I had a lot of them years ago, but I struggled with the rules that were in the box, which are the older rules. And I don't know if they were Premier or if they were some other rule set. Let me see here. I've got some of them here. Oh, there's the law, but let's see. Quatre Bras. Let's see what rule sets in this. Yeah, it's the Napoleon Primer, third edition, and I really struggled with getting the concept of some of the different rules in this. And so I really liked the counters and the maps and the idea of the game, a lot of the different mechanics and so forth, but I struggled with understanding some things, and there were some things that I couldn't answer. So I'd be playing and I'd get stumped with what to do. So that's the first edition Quatre Bras. And let's see what else I've got here. I see something here. Well, that's the other one. And maybe that's the Marshall Enterprises, an earlier edition. But here's the Clash of Arms. It's the Age of Napoleon, and it's the 5th edition. And see, I have the rules, but I don't have the charts, and it's hard to play when you don't when you don't have all the charts. And I haven't been able to find the charts. I guess the charts are in each game. So I guess you just use the charts that are found in each of the games. But I've used this rule set when I was playing Talavera. So, and I've got Linné, Albuera, Aristote, Talavera, Ilau. Let's see, I've got the, what's the other one? Mount Saint Jean or John. So I've got a lot of those. I think there's Orthes. Let's see, Orthes. I don't have that one. I did it one time, but of course the Premier, the old 3rd edition Premier was You Go I Go, and then the Clash of Arms 5th edition, that's with the MUs. And then you have the Maria Louise, which is a whole nother system. So there's plenty of options for you. But like I said, you get the Moskawa 1st or 2nd edition, and you start with those rules, and you can easily adjust to these others. All right, we'll pick up with the 11 o'clock turn, no, the 12 o'clock turn in the next video.